Hey everybody, this is Tara here. Today in class for the beginning writing, we did the first activity with the rubric, so I just wanted to give a little explanation of what we did and how it went. So for beginning writing, we started off class by reviewing some things we had done in previous classes, and then I told everybody that I was tired of being the teacher. It was their turn to be the teacher, and I said that we were going to grade 3 sample paragraphs of assignment number 3. They had already received the instructions for assignment 3, so they knew what it was. So I gave them everybody these 3 paragraphs. So example 1, example 2, and example 3. And then I gave them all of the rubric, and I went over really quickly the rubric. They have seen it before from their first 2 assignments, but it seems like a lot of them didn't really look at it. So I kind of went over like what the 3 categories are. So the content and vocabulary, the language use, which is the grammar, spelling, and punctuation, and the organization and format. And I showed them that it's different number of points for each one. And then I put them in partners, and I gave them this little checklist to help them kind of know what to look for. So, for example, in the instructions, it said the assignment needs to be at least 12 sentences. So under content, the first question is, does the paragraph have 12 sentences? And the paragraph is about their free time activities, what they like to do in their free time. So does it have good vocabulary? Do they have examples for each activity that they list in their free time? And then the questions for the grammar and language use. And then for organization format, we had questions about title, if it has the indent, if it's double spaced, and then does it have the topic sentence, supporting sentences, and concluding sentence. So it went super well. The students really seemed to understand the activity much better once we did it. So I had them with their partners, like, see if they could agree on the score and talk about why they gave the grades that they gave. And then we went over as a class, and I kind of wrote on the board. So like for paragraph 1, I was like, okay, so for content and vocabulary, what did you all give it? And then we talked a little bit about the reasons why. So for example, the first sample paragraph only had 7 sentences, and it was supposed to be 12. So I asked them, like, can we give 40 points for content if it only has 7 sentences? And everyone said no. And we talked about how the first paragraph mentions, like, I like to watch Netflix, but it doesn't say, what type of shows or how often, or if they watch alone or with, their family. So we kind of showed that the content was not that good, and we can put it under needs improvement for that. And then the language use, and so grammar and everything for the first paragraph, they also were able to find some of the problems with capital letters. But then we saw that the first one, the organization was okay. It had a topic sentence, had a concluding sentence. So yeah, we went through for each one, each paragraph, and gave them like the grade at the end. So the first one was a C, the second 2 were a B. And at the end of class, I asked, at the end of that activity, I asked, like, do you understand the rubrics a little bit better now? Do you see what we're looking for in the paragraphs? And they all said yes, that now they understood a lot better, and that especially for the content, that checklist I gave them, I think it helped a lot, where they could see, like, oh, if it only has 8 or 9 sentences, it's not going to get full points on content. And the same about the organization, because the last paragraph I picked, it was a little bit disorganized. And so I was showing them, like, that the content was good, but that the sentences were a little bit out of order, and the concluding sentence wasn't so good. So all of them said it made much more sense afterwards. So I'll see how the grades go, but overall, I think it was a very positive experience. And I, told them again at the end, I was like, this is the same rubric that I use for all of your assignments. So, you have assignment 3 now to do, like, take this rubric and look at your own assignment and see if you check off everything that we talked about today. So we'll see how it goes with them.